Hi, everybody. We're back. And now what we're going to look at is we're going to look at task 4. And this is a drag and drop. I really like this activity because it sort of separates what's what in each of these two processes. So we have photosynthesis in the first column and cellular respiration in the second column. And so what I'm asking you to do is I'm asking you to drag these, and I've broken these up so these two go here. I mean, they're not in the right necessarily in the right order, but these two go here, these two go here. All right, because I don't want this to be a time-consuming thing. But think about the first one is where does photosynthesis occur? And then where does cellular respiration occur? Well, I have pictures of the organelles on which these chemical reactions occur. Well, where does photosynthesis occur? Well, photosynthesis occurs in plants, and plants have that structure, right? That organelle called the chloroplast, and that little guy is where it occurs. Where does it occur in cellular respiration? It occurs inside the cell in an organelle called the mitochondria. Okay, and next part is when does this happen? Okay, well, photosynthesis, does it happen all the time? Nope. Does it happen in the presence of light? Yep. So this happens in the presence of light. What about cellular respiration? Well, cellular respiration doesn't need sunlight to happen, right? And it occurs anytime, all the time, because your cells always need energy for different things. So cellular respiration is occurring all the time, okay? Which is why it's important that you have a steady source of nutrition, right? So you can get that glucose out of the food and your cells can break it down for energy. Input, what goes into this whole thing? Remember the equation we've been working on, right? What goes in? Well, carbon dioxide goes in, water goes in from the roots, and energy from the sun. So that's the input. That's the reactant side of this equation. Cellular respiration, well, what goes in? Glucose, right? On the mitochondria, glucose combines with oxygen gas. So those are the reactants in a cellular respiration equation. And if you're not sure, go back and check in the slides. Both of the reactions are in previous slides. Output, what comes out of photosynthesis? Well, glucose gets made and stored as food, right? So that's one of the products that comes out of the equation. And what else comes out of the equation? Well, thank goodness oxygen gas comes out of the equation, right? It's really, really important. And then what comes out of the reaction that we call cellular respiration? Well, it breaks down glucose, right? With oxygen. What is the end result? Well, the end result is we exhale carbon dioxide. We get rid of water vapor through our lungs when we exhale. The really important thing and the purpose of cellular respiration is to give our bodies energy. Okay, so energy, carbon dioxide, and water are the products in that equation. So, what are the energy sources? Where does the stuff come from when we get the energy? Well, in photosynthesis, it occurs in the sunlight, right? So, the energy comes from the sun, that radiant energy, right? And so then we have cellular respiration. Well, where does the energy come from? Well, guess what? The energy comes from breaking of the bonds in glucose molecules. So remember, in the mitochondria, glucose is combining with oxygen. And so the bonds in that glucose are being broken, and then the energy is being released. And so what is the energy result? So photosynthesis needs energy, right? So it's taking energy in. The energy is being stored in those bonds of the glucose. So the energy is stored. Cellular respiration, the energy result is that the glucose has been broken down in the presence of oxygen and the energy has been released, right, for the body to use for whatever purposes it needs. So that's energy released. And so I think that this is a nice little organization, a graphic organizer that is a little bit more visual. And for some of you, you might want to take a look at the equations and kind of put them side by side and see if they make sense to you. Okay. So the next slide is, can you figure out how all of this stuff goes together? And so the both the photosynthesis and the cellular respiration. This next slide for me tells me, do you know what's going on? Okay, so good luck, and I'll see you on the next slide.